Gordon's got the ground game. It's a coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Melvin Gordon, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders as they get set to match up against the LA Chargers. With that, let's get out to Southern California with the call from Los Angeles. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. The scene a moment ago, unlike any other in the NFL for a lot of years. The crowd here in Carson might be half the size of a normal NFL stadium, but they are twice as loud as their Chargers get set to face off with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr now on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. Carr will try it again on second down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The numbers for Bryant last week, 8 catches, 116 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
The first carry now for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal. And I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
Get down, get down. All right, AD. All right, we're good, we're good. 24.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing his Carr on third down. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Hey, 7:34.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. He finds Roberts, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Get down, get down. You ready? Cover 0.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Go, go. 6:18. 6:37.
Throwing on third and long. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20. Not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing Rivers. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Rivers. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to get that.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, but they face a second and long to start things out. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't feel the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't just beat one defender.
Lynch fighting, and he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On 3rd down, Carr, and he finds Cook. His 1st catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? they're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them. But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The versatility of Derwin James comes right into play there. Whether he's playing deep safety or playing close to the line of scrimmage, always a threat to get around the ball carrier and put him on the ground. The surprise to me on draft night.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a second down throw for Rivers. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Rivers now to throw on first down. He completes it to Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Rivers on first down. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Broncos who were able to come in and get the road victory. Case Keenum, sharp in the victory, as his guys bounced back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest to check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Cooper Kupp, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Blake Bortles, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In our game, it's been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. His guys lead it on the road. So let's get you back to L.A., where I'll hand things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. Here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Rivers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he loses the football a second time. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Again, Gordon on 2nd and goal. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, here's Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Carr now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On the handoff, Lynch. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers, right side catch. This is Gates. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's a give to Lynch. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's the Raiders with a lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They run again on 1st down. Lynch. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Handoff comes to Lynch. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On first, here's Washington. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Corey Liggett makes the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. It's caught, Nelson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Nelson's first catch, good for a 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them, it's still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is Cook with a grab. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. Back to throw. Completes it to Benjamin. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. He'll look to throw. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger first down. They'll look to throw. Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Back to throw. Benjamin's got it. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Rivers. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. Now Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rivers. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Rivers to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Raiders, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head home.